1:19 p.m. Wednesday afternoon. Stock market just spiked up a little bit when the Fed announced Fed funds up 0.75. Elevated inflation. Well, stock market initial reaction was positive to what the Fed did. Raises rates 0.75. Dow's up 200. It was up 300. Really, the Dow's kind of overbought too high on some signals charts, and on some charts it's turning around going up. So I guess immediate short-term charts it's too high, and a little bit longer term it's going up. I call this day traders paradise now. Day traders are getting filthy rich. Good day traders, smart ones like me. Well, they got my smarts, but I don't have their money, so. PrivateHedgeFund.com. I'll hire people to work for me now. You're going to pay me $1 million to work for me and get training. And that's the offer I have to people out there in the world. You pay me $1 million cash. You come work for me. I train you. You get rich. I get rich. That's what it is. And it seems like my dad after college, the guy who said he was not really my natural dad, he was a fraud, look-alike, and nobody around here cares, and what are you going to do about it? He used to talk about, do you have to lose an eye, wear a patch to scare people and look scary? And then one story is some big guy, like maybe the neighbor dad, well, I don't know. It seems like that guy wasn't real big. Maybe there was 2 or 3 of them with the neighbors. Maybe those neighbors, on both sides of the street had 2 or 3 people who looked like him, and I never quite, I'm realizing now they're not all the same people. And they have 2 or 3 people, but some big guy, wrestler, KU football player, went in and poked my dad's eye out, and he bled to death. He didn't want to get into a big fight with him, and physical fight because they built my dad up as being a wrestler, a beta wrestler, and maybe he was a beta wrestler for his weight, 140, 50 pounds maybe. Maybe he was a good wrestler. Maybe I was a good wrestler for my weight, 150, 60 pounds. But some big guy poked his eye out, didn't want to fight him, just efficiently killed him by poking his eye out, and he bled to death. And then there's all this talk about an eye. They saved his eye, and that's him. And then all this stuff. Well, all those viruses and bacteria that make up your body, they're alive. They're parasites in your body, or different organs are all separate, and they all have different lives. And then, well, that's him. That's part of him. He's still alive. And they play word games about that. Word games about they're going to kill people and he's going to leave you. How about me? They're going to kill me. Tell him they're going to kill me and I'm going to leave him. But in reality, they're going to kill him and he's going to go to heaven, and I'm going to be here, so I'm going to leave him. Or the bacteria that kills me is the friend of the guy my enemy. All this crap, on pirates, and people dress like pirates by investing on these working stockbrokers. All that matters is what you look like. So they look like pirates because that's what they are, as pirates or something. Or I have to get my eye poked out to look like a pirate and wear a patch to scare people. This insanity is never going to end. People in Walmart last night were kind of acting real quiet around me. Over on Metcalf. Over 103rd and Metcalf, went in there. People in CVS are acting kind of weird. People at price chopper over here was saying something about some guy said a Paul. Seemed like that guy looked like a guy from church, and there was a taller guy who looked like a guy from church the other day walking out. This shorter guy who looked like him. And he goes, a Paul. Paul. Well, there's several Pauls in my history book. Paul Bunyan, the big tall guy. I guess I know several people named Paul since high school and college who were bigger, taller guys. I don't know, I have nothing to do with them now. I think again, some of the crap I listen to is, well, it includes the Paul from high school, big guy in his lawn mowing service. I don't know. Nothing to do with me. Unless, there has to be, there can only be one person from Shawnee Mission South who had a family business or something and they start doing that shit. Or there can only be one Beta, or there can only be one Oklahoma State mechanical engineering grad at IBM, or all this crap, that really, then, my ACT score is higher than that person, so they can't boss me around. And I can't tolerate their disrespect. What am I going to do about it? People say my degrees don't matter. They're flunk out of kindergarten equivalents. But since I've never been anywhere in my 61 years where people act right and have 100% respect for everything, my degrees, my ACT score, and the money, minimum wage for me is $5 billion a year based on hedge fund paycheck. I've never been around people who talk like that, who act like that, who do that. Maybe they're all on Wall Street in New York. I don't know. My dad went to the Ivy League. He was from Kansas City, and then he came back to Kansas City. Now, I don't know how much money those guys made back then when he graduated. And I don't know what the fuck he experienced other than the law is the law, and he was a peaceful person, and people pushed buttons, picked fights. And that's not the law is the law, it's how does the law work. You're going to find out how the law works. Your enemies are in the law based on race, religion, college, degrees, how tall you are, how much you weigh, whatever. All this other bullshit. Well, I'm on Team Me. 96% on the ACTs, 96% of $5 billion is my minimum wage. And we assume $5 billion a year got a perfect ACT score, perfect GMAT score. Probably didn't do it. It's probably not possible. Based on my experience, it's not possible. It doesn't exist. But we'll just assume that, for perfectly theory fairness. But nothing's fair. It never was. Just does whatever they can get away with. People do whatever the hell they can get away with in life. And Merrill Lynch, hand me $1 trillion. Smith Barney, hand me $1 trillion. Payne Weber, hand me $1 trillion. Kansas Securities Commission, hand me $1 trillion. Courthouse, hand me $1 trillion. Everybody identify yourselves precisely based on ACT percentile degrees and what from where. Turn yourselves in. Save the planet Earth. Because I'm right, and I was always right.